If you're a big swim team and you like to order a lot of gear, maybe you ought to check out Swim Outlet Team Division for these reasons. Swim teams receive a 10% discount on bulk orders. Swim teams or organizations get an 8% commission on referred sales. You'll also like their customization services, which is affordable and available at all times during the year for all team gear. With over 50,000 items in stock, you can get most anything you want. Swim Outlet Team Division. You need to try it out. You'll be glad you did.
Welcome everybody to the Morning Swim Show on Monday, September 8th, 2014. I'm your host, Jeff Cummings. Joining me in just a few seconds in the Finis monitor will be Tom Shields. The two-time national champion is back home in Berkeley, California after a month of international travel that took him to Australia and the Middle East for the Pan Pacific Championships and the World Cup. And right now, Tom joins us via Skype from his home in Berkeley. Hey Tom, good to see you. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
All right. Feel good to be back home, I bet.
Yeah, absolutely love it. Weird time zone switch flying all the way around the world, but it's super, super awesome to be back home.
Well, it could have been worse, Tom. You could have been at home watching Pan Pacs instead of actually being there.
Very true. Very, very true.
So before you went to Australia, was it already planned that you were going to go to the World Cup?
Yes and no. I was either going to fund myself, or USA Swimming actually did a really nice job this year coming in and funding 8 or so athletes and a coach out, and so qualifying for that was done at nationals. So I had always been committing to go, but nationals really helped me get there.
Well, that's really nice. As you know, in previous years, USA Swimming hasn't funded athletes to go, so that's a really nice step up. That probably really convinced you that you wanted to go this year? Yeah,
for sure. It was definitely seeing the commitment from them is like to other facets of swimming is always brings a lot of hope, I guess, and brings a lot of happiness to my eyes, and not just me necessarily, but like for the whole swimming nation to be pushed forward and just the swimming to grow and be a bigger sport is it's such a cool opportunity to be a part of that, and it obviously makes my job specifically a lot easier. In that I don't have to work with the LSCs as much. I don't have to scrounge together credit cards to do the similar kind of trips that I was doing in the past.
Yeah, and you came back with $30,000. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. This year went a little bit better than last. I'm not quite where I want to be performing it from a performance standpoint, but yeah, financially it's been just a huge blessing to be a part of.
Well, I can imagine $30,000 is going to go a long way to paying for your wedding you got coming up in 3 months.
Yeah, it was. That's an unbelievably positive side effect of that. Is that the wedding is definitely a lot less stressful as far as finances go. So now we can just kind of focus on what we want to have in the wedding, and not only that, like we get to have a lot more of a fun honeymoon now. We are going to Hawaii for 15 days in December, so having that paid for right now is really, really cool.
Wow, that is going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome to get to do all the surfing you want to do.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll come back to World Cup in a little bit, but I want to talk about Pan Pacs. Obviously, very undesirable conditions, very cold, very rainy, very windy for pretty much the entire meet. Was it easy for everyone on the team to stay motivated every day?
More or less. I mean, yeah, it's still Pan Pacs. It's still an international competition. I think my personal negative performance wasn't really due to the weather as much. I think, the attitude was there. I mean, some people griped more than others, I guess, but the guys that wanted to swim well and the girls that wanted to swim well did swim well, so it wasn't like a terrible situation by any means.
And it's nothing new for you being in Berkeley, swimming outdoors. I mean, it's kind of like winter in Berkeley anyway.
Yeah, it's exactly the same weather that we faced in December and in January. We don't have very many meets in that time period, but we have plenty of practices.
Well, at 200 fly in prelims, it looked like you were on pace to do really well, and then we got the shocking news that you got that DQ for a one-handed touch. At the time, did you know that you had not touched with both hands?
I don't think I did, to be honest. I don't mean to cause controversy with that. I do touch non-linear, though. Like I touch with my hands kind of like bent, and it can look non-simultaneous. Obviously, the ref thought that I touched non-simultaneous, and he did his job, and that's the way those things go. I've definitely tightened that up since then, and I touch more linearly, and I touch, I pay much better attention to that. And to be honest, not something that I was definitely paying attention to. All I know is the long was really long, and it was a really lazy wall. So, I could theoretically have mistimed it, but I just don't. In my memory, that did not happen.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, a lot of people think they don't get DQ'd. It's very rare when people say they know they got DQ'd when it happens.
Yeah. But it's part of the sport, and it's the way it is. So I guess something I'm gonna have to pay better attention to coming here forward.
Well, it's obviously not easy getting DQ'd in your first swim of your first major international meet. So how much of an effect did that have for you a couple of days later for the 100 fly?
It was a bummer and it was frustrating. I made a mistake in the 100 too, and we had to be pretty fast in the morning, but I had the power to do that. I was fast enough in the morning to swim at night in Irvine, so there was no reason I wasn't able to. But the mistake there was I overswam the first 50, and I guess you could say I was excited, I was excitable because I had missed a final, and I was a day and a half out of the racing pool. But that's still something. It's not I would have done so much better if I hadn't been DQ'd. I can't sit here and say that. What happened is what happened, and that's the way it is.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that the 100 fly now has become one of the deepest events for the United States. Obviously, when you look at Pan Pacs, the top 5 qualifiers after prelims were all for the United States.
Mm-hmm.
The 100 fly just seems to be now, even if you don't count Michael Phelps, one of the toughest events to qualify for an international team in. Why do you think the 100 fly has gotten so much stronger?
I think it's people see opportunity, myself included. After 2012, with Phelps taking a year off, and some other things moving around in the event throughout the nation, with Davis retiring, and a lot of younger guys getting better, and a lot of articles are written about it being a vacuum. And then Ryan picked it up, and then Tim and I and Giles and Matt and Eugene and many others thought oh hey, it is a vacuum. Let's try and get better at this event. Let's do it. And then that that went away very quick. And now we're looking at one of the deepest events we have. And I think that's just a natural consequence. I see the ebb and flow in a lot of events. And honestly, I'm expecting the 200 fly to have the same thing happen in the next couple of years. I think that's going to be an event that we develop a lot better as a nation because of a lot of the high school and young college talent we have coming up, and the fact that compared to the 100 fly, it is a pretty hard to say weak, but just weak in respects to the 100.
Yeah. Well, given how great butterfly is becoming in the United States, how do you feel about knowing that you're going to be one of the 2 people representing the United States in the 100 and 200 fly next year at Worlds?
It's nice. I'm not going to lie. 4 years ago, I was on the other side of the coin. I had just made my first national team in Irvine. I'd gotten 5th, I think. Pearsall had just touched me in the 100 fly. And it's okay, cool. I don't have an opportunity to make an A team until the Olympics, and that was just kind of a bust, and it's a long time to wait. And now to be on this side, I guess it's really nice to have this time to train and to know that it's settled until trials that I get to represent the USA next year. It's a frustrating system, nonetheless, and I definitely remember the spot I was in 4 years ago, and I'm not going to deny that is an unfortunate prospect for the guys that aren't in the position that I'm in. But to be in this position, obviously it's a huge opportunity, it's a huge blessing, and I'm super stoked to represent the USA in 12 years in Kazan.
Do you think you'll
12 months.
12 months, yeah. Do you think you'll be you and the postgraduate guys are going to be doing a lot of long course training, or will you be mixing it up with short course stuff as well, with the college team being so focused on short course?
We kind of have our own identity, and we kind of have our own things going on, and we always, in the fall, and I think I've said this in an interview before with you guys, in the falls we can kind of say, oh, Dave and Yuri and Nick, we're going to do this, this, and this, please help us get there. And then when, after Christmas time, we get to OTC, and then it's Dave and Yuri and Nick give us our schedules. Mostly Dave gives us our schedules. Tells us how it's going to go from here moving forward. So until December, I'm gonna shave 10 to 12 times. I can tell you that much. I don't know about short course nationals, but I'm going to go to all the World Cups. And I hope I'm going to short course worlds. The qualifications haven't dropped for that yet. We haven't been announced, but I'm very hopeful in making that team. So it's going to be just a ton of racing, and that's going to be a ton of short course. But then the time January rolls around, we'll again, switch gears, go to OTC, hit the Grand Prix, probably find a meet in March to go to, and then go to Worlds.
I want to just last question about Pan Pacs is having Katie McLaughlin there representing Mission Viejo Nadadores as well. I don't know. Were you able to watch her race at all at Pan Pacs, see her get third?
Yeah. We I love her butterfly. I think that she would have the best 400, 500 butterfly of anyone that I've ever seen swim butterfly. She's a very survivable stroke. It's it makes a lot of sense. It saves a lot of energy for a 200 flyer. And I never knew her as a nadador. I was only there for 9 months, and she was considerably younger than me. But yeah, it was awesome to watch her swim.
Yeah, I think she's going to be, like you said, one of the future butterfly swimmers, the way she swims.
Oh, totally.
Well, you said that the World Cup kind of, you didn't swim as well as you kind of wanted to, but I mean, you got the American record. You beat your best time in the 200 fly, so can't really say it was
I was
too
out.
bad.
What was I? I was like 119.9, and then I came home 30 point.
Yeah.
Obviously, the American record wasn't the one that was on my mind.
Yeah, were you before the race? Were you thinking, you're going to go after Chad Leclerc's world record?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know this year that I had wanted to do it, and I was just so fearful of him because he's so fast and he's beaten me quite a few times that he would do it. And, if I could go 148.5, that he would just beat me and I wouldn't have the world record. So I was going to take the opportunity of him not doing it in Doha to really try and break it. And unfortunately, I screwed up. And then a couple days later in Dubai, I made, the exact opposite mistake, and I was way too soft on the way out. I was home 27 mid. So 3 seconds faster on the way back, but I was out, 2.5, 3 seconds slower. So that's just the way that went. So I'm really looking forward to Hong Kong. If Chad does it, he does it. But I really want to go 49 low at least, and then hopefully step that down to mid 48s, hopefully by Short Course Worlds at the latest.
So you went out too fast, and then you didn't get it. You went out too slow, you didn't get it. I guess there's got to be some kind of middle ground.
There's got to be that happy medium, right? I found it. I have found it before. It's just a matter of adjusting that to the new kind of level of speed I want to bring to the event.
Yeah, not being a 200 flyer, I don't know where that happy medium is. I think you either have to go out fast and die, or go out too slow and just kind of build into it. But yeah, I guess that's kind of the work you're putting in now, I guess.
Yeah, that's what the next couple of weeks is going to be like. We're going to get some yardage up. We're going to get some more weights in. We're going to get more short course meter specific. I'm going to land a lot earlier than 23 hours before we start racing. That was hard in Doha. I think, we flew from Brisbane to Melbourne to Doha, and we landed 8 a.m. Got to the pool at noon the day before the meet started in Doha. So that was just a whole new experience to handle, and hopefully, I get to Hong Kong a little bit early, and there's enough time in between Hong Kong and Moscow that's actually not going to be too bad of a travel compared to, Australia, Doha. So I'm in a good spot right now.
Yeah, really good spot. I think I just think personally, it seems like you're just on a whole new level this year as compared to even just, say March of this year. I mean, what do you think happened this past summer that really helped you make this big leap forward?
Getting engaged, to be honest, was a huge step. It's just to make everything explicit in between Gianna and I, as far as our plans and how we feel about each other, and really it never really helped me to kind of figure out not figure out, but just say out loud, make explicit who I am, who I want to be in life, and what I want to do. And then when I'm sitting here and I turned 23. I was turning 23 actually when this was happening. I turned 23 in July, and it's I look at what I want to do in my life, and I really only have thought about swimming, and there's so much more to that. And I realize that there's only so much time left in swimming, so I really need to push and do what I want to do now, because it's not going to be here forever. And so that's kind of this newfound commitment, and I feel like I've always, I don't know, not sitting on the fact that I was younger, or I'm developing, so I'm developing. Because I think there's something to be said for that in our sport, that Development times take a lot longer now than they did a decade ago because people stick around a lot longer. So I'm not saying that was wrong, but I think that this summer, as I was just finally like, no, like I don't want to develop anymore. I just want to be. I want to accomplish the things that I've set out to accomplish, and then move on eventually.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of married swimmers on the national team. Matt Grievers is doing very well, and Michael Clee is getting married.
David Plummer has a kid, and I think at Pan Pac's like probably annoyed him a little bit, but I just asked him so much about his kid and how it's the handle of swimming. Just to look at that as a possibility in the future, and I do think that like marriage does give you that more sense of identity, but also too it just gives you the fact that like there's another person in your life that's there, helping you out along the way. And for a lot of people, I mean, you have roommates and stuff, but that's just not there since you move out, of home when you're 18. So like reestablishing that is huge. Like I feel like I make a home again, and we're starting to make a family, and that's just huge to just like not even my swimming, obviously that's not like why I recommend getting married, but it's just huge to life in general.
Yeah you definitely seem like a much, when I saw you on deck in Irvine, you definitely seem like a much different person, and I kind of thought it may have been the engagement, but I didn't know if it was just something in the pool or just in general, but it seems like it's all around.
Yeah, thank you very much, that means a lot.
Well, before we let you go here, Tom, we want to submit you to our final 5. These are 5 questions we ask our guests on the show, and I'm really curious to hear your answers to these. You've got very philosophical answers, so I'm interested to hear your responses to these.
Okay.
All right, first question is, other than yourself, what swimming celebrity would you like to trade lives with for a day?
For a day?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's hard. Swimming celebrity. Rowdy Gaines.
Okay, very nice.
Just because I want to know what... I mean, he takes master swimming super seriously, don't get me wrong, so I'm not saying that he's not competitive anymore, but just like, he's so busy and he travels so much and he's able to handle it all and be super positive and be a TV personality through it all. I just think that would be fun to try for a day.
I'm sure it is. All right, what non-swimming celebrity would you like to trade lives with for a day?
I don't know, man. Celebrity? I don't know anyone specifically. I guess I could just say like Kelly Slater because that's the name everyone would recognize. But like professional surfing life would be nice.
I had a feeling you were going to say that. I had a feeling you were going to say professional surfer. All right. Other than this year, what year of your life would you like to relive?
When I was 18 or 19, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that like I was making not a lot of mistakes, but a little bit of maturity mistakes in college, and I think it would just be nice to have that back. Yeah. Try to do that over.
Tom, what's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Guardians of the Galaxy, probably right now.
All right.
Just probably best comic book movie made in the last 4 years, definitely since Iron Man.
Yeah, it was a great movie. Really funny too. I didn't think it'd be so funny.
Yeah.
All right. Last question. What's your favorite season?
Favorite season? I love spring and summer. Definitely. Probably nowadays since college is over, summer and fall racing season. So I feel like we train, and I pick up all my main yardage from January to July-ish, and then August to December is just all racing and all shaving and all fast swimming, which is really fun. So and traveling is obviously a huge positive experience. So probably nowadays summer and fall. And
making money from it.
Yeah, of course.
Well, cool, Tom. Thanks so much for joining us again. All the best to you at the rest of these World Cups. We're looking forward to seeing how well you do, and then give our best to Gianna as well. We're looking forward to celebrating the wedding as everyone else around the world is.
Much. Thank you guys so much for having me on.
All right. Enjoy the rest of the day.
All right. Have a good one.
All right. And our thanks to you as well for joining us for today's show. Now, if you missed any of our episodes of the Morning Swim Show, you can go find them on swimmingworld.tv. I'm Jeff Cummings. Thanks for watching.